Okay, so this is the law of cosines. And so you can see that just like in the law of sines, the sides and the angles are set up across from each other. So sine alpha corresponds with A, beta with B, and gamma with C, and the angle faces the side that corresponds to it. And then, so the law of cosines is kind of like Pythagorean theorem. So you got c squared equals a squared plus b squared, but you have this extra term of minus 2ab cosine gamma, which is the angle that faces the side. So if you have two sides and the angle in between, you use the law of cosines. If you have two sides and the angle that's not in between, one of the angles that's not in between, then you use sine. Okay, so we're going to use, for our example, we have A equals 2, B equals 3, and gamma equals 60 degrees. Okay, so we're going to be looking for c squared, and that is, so we get a squared plus b squared minus 2 times a times b times cosine 60 degrees. Okay, so there's 4 plus 9 minus 12 times 1/2, because cosine 60 is 1/2. So 13 minus 6 equals 7. So c squared equals 7, so c equals the square root of 7. Okay, so that was the missing side. Now we need to find the missing angles, and we can use the law of cosines for that, or the law of sines, sorry. So we can have sine alpha over A equals sine of 60 degrees over C. Now that we know what C is, we can put that in and solve for sine alpha. So coming up here, sine alpha equals 2 sine 60 degrees over the square root of 7, which is the square root of 3 over the square root of 7. And so alpha is the sine inverse, the square root of 3 over square root of 7. So let me see what that is. And that is 40 degrees. Well, 40.9 degrees. Okay, now we have to do the same kind of thing for cosine, or for beta. So we get sine beta over over 3 equals sine 60 degrees over square root of 7. So sine beta equals 3 sine 60 over square root of 7. So sine 60 is the square root of 3 over 2. And so we'll just put that into the calculator the way it is. So take the sine inverse, 3 square root of 3 over 2, and then that's divided by square root of 7. So you can enter it in your calculator like that. Inverse sine, 3 square root of 3 over 2 over 7, over the square root of 7. And that is 79.1. Now, do they add up? So if I take 40.9 degrees plus 79 plus 60, does that add up to 180? And it does. So these are probably the correct angles, alpha, beta, and then our missing side was the square root of 7. So let's look at one more. Okay, so here's our next example. A equals 2, C equals 5, and beta equals 20 degrees. So we're going to use the formula that's got b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cosine beta. And so b squared equals 2 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times a times c cosine 20 degrees. Now what I'm going to do is calculate this right-hand side here. So 2 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 5 times cosine 20 degrees. And as a decimal, that is 10.206. So b is the square root of that. And so b is 3.19 or 3.2. Okay, so now we need to find alpha and gamma. So we use law of sines for that. We will probably need to use more decimals. I'm sure the directions say do not round until the final step. So while I've written down 3.2 in my calculator, I'm going to use 3.19470618121. Okay, so let's find alpha. So sine alpha over 2 equals sine 20 over b, which I'm going to write down 3.2, but I'm going to use the calculator answer. So I get sine alpha equals 2 sine 20 over 3.2, and so alpha is the inverse sine of that. So that is I'm going to use the second answer button so that I get the correct answer. So alpha is 12.4 degrees, and I repeat for gamma. Sine gamma is over 5 is sine 20 over b. Sine gamma equals 5 sine 20 over 3.2. So gamma equals inverse sine of 5 sine 20 over 3.2. Oops. Okay, it's going to take me a second. Let's see. 32.4. Now, let's add these up. This doesn't quite seem big enough. 12.4 and 20. So that is definitely not equal to 180. One of these is going to have to be an obtuse angle. And so I look here. Now I have three sides. I have A equals 2, B equals 3.2, and C equals 5. That means that gamma is going to be the largest angle. So it must be a quadrant 2 angle. So I take this gamma that I got, and this is its first quadrant reference angle. So I am going to take 180 minus 32.4, and I get 147.2. So new page. The quadrant 1 angle is 32.4 degrees. So the quadrant 2 angle is 180 minus 32.4 equals 147.6. And so now we're going to take 147.6 plus 12 point, whatever it was, 12.4 plus 20, and we'll see what that adds up. And that is 180. So remember that the largest side, or the longest side, goes with the largest angle. And so 32 was the largest angle, and it went with the largest side, but since it didn't add up, one of them had to be a quadrant 2 angle, and it had to be the angle with the longest side, which was 5. Okay.